Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we have another highlight game from the new World Championship Qualifiers, which is now exactly 1 month away until the LAN playoffs begin on the 11th of July through till the 14th. So put that in your calendar. It's going to be very, very exciting. We'll have a live audience of about 40 people, and it's not too late to come if you're thinking of coming. We're just outside of Manchester. It's not too expensive there. It's not a sort of tourist environment or a business hub, so the accommodation's actually quite cheap. Details below. This particular match I really think you're going to enjoy, but you can catch the rest of their series over on the Escape YouTube channel. Everything you need is in the description below.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 in a best-of-5 series between KINGofOsmane and Jerrimuno. The winner of this series will play against Taben, and the winner of that series will play against Kanisi to determine who qualifies for the LAN. The loser will be eliminated, and that will be the end of their tournament life here. KINGofOsmane in the north of the map, in the colour blue, playing as the Germans. It is a market start, of course. Going to ignore the 40 food treasure there, get straight out onto the map, and will be rewarded right away with a 105 coin treasure guarded by 2 alligators. What a treasure. That's a really, really nice one, and a nearby sheep that he can pick up as well. I think he's going to be quite pleased with that. He could use that to get his house. No, he's already got his house. Oh, that's a shame. If he'd held off on the house a little bit longer, maybe he could have done something with the...
Yeah, he might have been able to go for a trading post or something like that, or even gotten hunting dogs, which he's not even gathering for, which is really surprising.
Yeah, especially with that coin, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to make use of that early market somehow on this map. On the other side, Osmane is getting hunting dogs himself. So that's going to be a nice little boost for him. And yeah, I mean, already just off the back of that, it looks like things are shaping up to go well for Osmane at this point in time. And I would say Osmane actually has a good chance of even going for an earlier age up in this situation, maybe with the like 13ville age up or something, just based off of that start alone. It'd be kind of close though, so we'll have to wait and see if he can actually get that. But yeah, Jerrimuno's going to have a lot of wood to chop in transition, having to get that hunting dogs and that trading post up.
That's right. But in terms of sheep, one gets deleted over here. KINGofOsmane on 4 sheep, and there's a 5th one in his base that hasn't been converted just yet, but he can go back for that later. And this sheep here, there's one in the middle, but he's going to come across. There's a 75 wood treasure contention, but I think blue should be fine to kill the alligator and pick that up. But he is going to go into hand combat, and his explorer will be threatened here. But KINGofOsmane, he's going to have to build a trading post during transition, so his explorer is going to have to come home at some point, and he can't chase the German explorer for too long. But given that they're quite away from aging up, he'll probably get his opponent over to... Is the snare been broken?
Yeah, it was broken. He's trying to block it with the scout now to get him back into melee combat. There we go. And I think he will actually just commit to killing this. I don't think delaying the trading post is a super big deal for France most of the time, especially if you can delay Germany's trading post or else force them to build it with the settler wagon. It's going to be nice for you. And yeah, it looks like that German explorer is going to be going down. But at least that 75 wood got him his hunting dogs. So
yeah, that's true. Does manage to get the hunting dogs in. That's nice. And both players exceptionally close in terms of food to age up. Actually, I think KINGofOsmane just cancelled... I don't know. Well, he's now up there. He gained like 100 extra food, so he must have cancelled a ville to do that.
Yeah, he had 15 villes in queue and one.
Okay, and KINGofOsmane going to get Gangsaw in transition as well, which is going to be really, really nice for him. Going to fit that in as France nice and early. And what is my hero's name? I don't know. That's not German.
I have no idea what that is either. So
yeah, so we're not privy to the joke, but clearly it's not German. It kind of looks German, maybe to me. I don't know, but perhaps not the most relevant thing in this game. Both players now going up. Jerrimuno has Placer Mines, and he's gotten his hunting dogs as well. And is aging up with the Quartermaster. In fact, both players are going to do that. Now starting to bring their herds in with the villagers, start shooting them towards the town centre now that they are in queue. But again, I'm interested to see what Jerrimuno does once he hits up. He gets his 400 wood. I wonder if we'll see the barracks or the stable
Yeah, most likely going to be the stable. But yeah, this is already the advantage of having killed that explorer early on. That Jerrimuno does actually have to build that trading post with the settler wagon. I mean, with the explorer being so close to his base, he maybe could have just waited for that to revive before building that. But he is going to choose to build it with the settler wagon. Doesn't want to risk missing the passive experience or anything. And so that will sort of cost him a bit of extra villager seconds early on, and might make it a little bit more difficult for him to get out like a batch of 5 Ulans or something like that.
Yeah, with less gather time. That could be awkward. See what he does with his wood. I'm sure we'll see a stable go down. He's got that now. Yeah, he's going to place the stable down on the side. And a stable from
start for both players.
Yeah, from King of Osmane as well there. Steel traps now just coming in for King of Osmane. And he's doing very well on sheep. Wow, look at that. There's a lot of sheep there. Let's switch over to economic unit. 7 sheep to his opponent's 1. So, would you consider penning 7 sheep? Or do you think you need 8?
I think I would probably pen it, yeah. As long as it's not going to hurt your build too much, I think you should probably pen that many sheep for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll do that off his 700 wood. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, it's not a super big deal if you don't pen it either. Like, when you have that many sheep, you know that your opponent can't have very many of their own, so you've got an advantage anyway. And sometimes that means you just want to sit on it and try to get other advantages by, like, not over-investing into your economy because you've already sort of got the advantage. If that makes sense? I kind of failed to explain that very well.
No, it makes sense, right? You've already got so many sheep. That's an advantage. You don't want to slow down by making a pen when you've already got an advantage, which is more sheep. I think that's what you're saying.
Right, and it looks like he might even be thinking about eating them already anyway. So he's not going for the pen maybe, so he can get this really early age up with this 700 gold coming in second. And he'll eat the sheep to sort of help speed that up a little bit, make that a little bit smoother. Although, just looking at his food, he's going to have to eat quite a few of them.
Yeah, maybe he wants to eat all of them. Maybe he's not afraid to do that, right? Like,
yeah, I think that might be the case.
Often, like, the Fortress Age time and your first couple of shipments seems to be the most important time of the game anyway in this matchup. So maybe that's where he wants his advantage. Whereas, you know, your player, perhaps more experienced, maybe like yourself, perhaps you get away with, you know, that first couple of shipments is going to go well anyway, and you don't need to make sure you've got a super advantage with the sheep and can instead save the sheep for later and get an even bigger advantage out of them if you pen them or something like that. I don't know, but clearly he wants to eat the sheep. He wants to get his age up in nice and early.
And, I mean, the early age up is going to be nice for him, but I don't know if it's even going to be that much earlier. Jerrimuno's 700 gold is on the way. Osmane's clicking up now. He'll be up probably 40 seconds sooner than Jerrimuno, I guess. But this is a build order that I know that Kaiser Klein is a really big fan of in general with France, and especially in this matchup, just because you can get up very early, and then you can get those like 10 Dragoons out with the 5 from the shipment, the 5 from the stable. And Germany's not up yet, and they've only got like Ulans to defend their base, so you just have the 5 Huss and the 10 Dragoons, and you run straight in and you try and do as much economic damage as possible. Try and trade off your Hussars for the Ulans. Then you could sort of back out and send 1,000 wood and like set up your economy from there, and it could be pretty tricky for Germany to defend. But I think Jerrimuno kind of maybe smells that something's up with only the 5 Hussars here, so he's going to keep the Vills penned, going to make it very difficult to get out any Dragoons. We can see one Dragoon in queue at the stable for Osmane, and with that gold being denied by the Ulans there, getting out 5 is going to be a little bit difficult, especially since it looks like he's going to have to buy wood for a house there. Yeah, he actually sold some food and bought a house, so you might not be able to get 5 Dragoons out.
Yeah. Jerrimuno doing a good job with his Ulan. He knew his opponent was, well, he probably sensed the age up and was trying to idle the villages as much as he could, and it's going to work out. He's going to have less wood. Yeah, only 4 Dragoons coming out there. But now King of Osmane wants to push across the map. His 5 Dragoon shipment as well, 9 goons in total. It's still going to be quite strong and doing exactly what you said, but Jerrimuno is going to scout that with his low HP Explorer. The Dragoons going to go back to kill it off, but now up to the Fortress Age. And yeah, Jerrimuno just going to get his cav out of there. He just wants to keep them hidden and away from these Dragoons. They're quite vulnerable to Dragoons until the skirmishes arrive, and he just needs to hold on for 30 seconds or so until his skirm shipment can arrive.
Back here, though, with the settler wagons on the back gold mine. If Osmane checks back there for any reason, even if he's just looking for the Ulans that he knows exist. Oh, one settler wagon goes down. But like, yeah, look, if he goes,
here
he
goes
to the back mine right now,
and keeping the Vils out just to stop him from going in that direction.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, look at my Vils.
Jerrimuno knows that he can't let him go back there.
Yeah.
He's even going to call Minutemen just to make sure that doesn't happen. But he should have a shipment arriving now too, and should be fine anyway.
And there it is.
Yeah, behind this 1,000 wood is going to come for Osmane. He'll use that to get his Raxes down, get some houses. Potentially even something like Amalgamation is an option for him, especially on a map like Florida that has a little bit more gold than normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, pretty even trade, I would say.
Yeah, and Osmane doing exactly what he wanted. Gets up early and has that pace, right? He has that sort of momentum, and he gets to dictate the pace of the game. He gets to be in his opponent's base, and behind this he sends 1,000 wood, which is exactly what he wants to get his eco set up. So I think King of Osmane going to be pleased with this so far. Let's take a look at units lost.
Yeah.
One settler wagon went down as well, remember, so also going to be pleased with picking that up. But now Jerrimuno coming in with Cav on the side here. I'm a little bit frightened for them. Yeah, he knows that he can't really be going in there with just Cav. There's a lot of goons. Very vulnerable.
And the other nice thing about this build with France is that Germany can't really push out right after they defend, unless they've gone for war wagons, just because they don't know exactly what France has done. They sort of understand that you haven't sent wood, that you might not have a barracks, and they could maybe push with the skirms and get an advantage at that, but France doesn't necessarily have to send 1,000 wood and transition into skirms. If they transition into like 3 cures with a batch of 5, it could be really dangerous. Yeah, going to get out of there safely. But so as a result, Jerrimuno's kind of stuck sitting back at home for the time being, just because he wasn't aware what France was up to for sure, and was really maybe worried that if he pushed out and tried to punish that goon timing, that he'd run into a bunch of cures and then just get slaughtered.
Mm. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That took me a really long time to explain that.
No, I'm pleased you did though. Like but 1,000 gold is now stacked up for Jerrimuno, in fact, and then some. He's actually quite evenly macroed, at 400 gold and 400 food, ignoring the 1,000 which he's going to spend on a shipment. And it looks like, he's. I think he sees all the Dragoons, or has seen them. I'm expecting Jaegers to come out from Jerrimuno here.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to send something. But I mean, he's still like maybe like 15 to 20 seconds off of that shipment. So
yeah. It's a little bit awkward, and he's got 2 trading posts just to speed it up. It's taking a while to come in. He sent 1,000 gold, but then you gather up the gold, and then it takes a while for the next shipment to be available. I mean, there is synergy there, but it is awkward.
The war wagon shipment or batch is going to pop out and give him the XP for that. But yeah, it takes a long time to sit on that. It always feels really bad when you're sitting on 1,000 gold for a long time, a raid getting picked up in the back of the base there. But yeah, it always feels really bad when you're sitting on all that gold for a long time, where you're like, I really need the mercenaries to like round out my composition, but I really hate waiting for like 2 full minutes before I can get this card in. Yeah. Sitting on all those resources, it just feels like you're really exposed during that time and can't really do anything with your military. And so as a result, Osmane actually getting a pretty respectable unit mass out here with 8 cures now added in, big mass of Dragoons, a respectable skirm count as well, and could potentially be sending something like Falconets as his next card in the next few minutes here.
Yeah, and that's like the one thing, that's one of France's sort of bigger advantages in the Fortress Age. Falconets, Germany don't have that sort of option available to them, and it's always Germany having to figure out how to deal with them, because they can't just counter them with their own. But yeah, big unit mass. Very even skirmisher count, both about 22 each, and 8 cuirassiers mixed in as well. But 6 war wagons for Jerrimuno. 3 cav coming in. This is not ideal. He's already lost 3. He knows he wants to be doing something. He doesn't want to be sitting around with all his units at the back here whilst he waits for his Jaegers, which have now arrived. So maybe he can now go out on the map and do something. But clearly with the 2 raids that he was trying to do something, trying to be active whilst he waited, it was frustrating to be doing nothing. But ultimately losing 6 Ulans is kind of bad.
I mean, despite losing those Ulans, he still has a fair bit of them, but still no vet upgrade. Going to be going for another raid on the southeast of the map here, but he spotted those cures as well with those raids, and I don't know if he has actually enough war wagons to deal with this unit composition from Osmane effectively. Osmane has a shipment on the way right now. It's probably going to be either cavalry combat or falconets. Kind of hard to say which it could be, but both are going to be pretty strong here.
Oh, here we go. But for sure, Jerrimuno ahead in the skirmish account. Even skirm numbers plus the Jaegers mixed in here just gives him such a big lead in terms of skirmishes. Those 2 falconets, if they're on the way, are going to be definitely needed. Thankfully, those CDBs have very, very high range resist. And here we have some cav trying to get on them there. But lots of trees. Perhaps no. Oh, but these goons coming really far forward. This is not too good. They're going to take a lot of damage from those skirms. But that's a lot of cuirassiers there. In fact, 16 of them. That's an insane number. With cav combat as well. Does he have the war wagons to handle this?
Yeah, it looks like he might not. I mean, the skirms walking up going to be focusing down the war wagons. The dragoons going to be walking up and focusing them down as well. They could be going down pretty quickly. There's war wagons in queue behind this and a 3 war wagon shipment on the way, but they're going to take a long time to get to this fight, and it looks like Germany's just going to get cleaned up here. Although there's still a deceptive number of war wagons left alive and not a whole lot of cures, but I think at the end of the day, all these war wagons are pretty low HP, and there's going to be a much larger skirm mass for France behind this than for Germany.
Yeah, they're all sort of dying at once at the end of the fight here. Those war wagons, very, very low HP. They just take so long to die. And those Jaegers now getting cleaned up. The cuirassiers bought him so much advantage there in that fight, and he comes out on top with a really big, massive skirmishes. And now France is looking very, very scary indeed. And behind this, a stronger economy as well, although it doesn't have 2 trade posts, but it's not stagecoach, so it doesn't really matter. I think France in a solid position here. And look, all the food out on the map, he's gathering really far up. France has probably scouted that and could well be where he's heading to next. And indeed, the coin mine's a bit far out as well. Has got a 9 Ulan shipment in, though. And that's going to race across the map. Oh no, it's changing direction now. Cuirassiers coming in. Oh dear.
He is finally getting vet Ulans as well behind this. Like, he knows he killed a lot of the dragoons from Osmane in that fight, so he knows that a big cavalry switch could still catch Osmane off guard. The war wagon's going to catch the cures here, and I think that Jerrimuno might try to push with this big Ulan mass that he's gotten before any more dragoons could be trained, and this could actually be his opportunity to maybe get back into the game as they get onto the skirmishers here. There's a reinforcing batch of dragoons coming, though.
Yeah, that's he says K.
he aggroed the treasure.
Oh wow, did he? I wasn't looking at that.
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to, the treasure.
Yeah, the pirates.
He misclicked on it while he was kiting back, and they started attacking the skirms. But it looks like he'll get out of there relatively.
Did he just kill the pirate?
Fine.
It's got 46 HP. No, he's doesn't want his opponent to easily pick up the villager treasure. Perhaps gonna just reset it. But yeah, he's okay there.
How many idle CDB there are. This is so painful to look at.
That's a lot of wasted eco potential. Oh god, that's
like
half
side,
his eco doing nothing.
Yeah, and on the other side, the little bit of your eco that is working gets raided.
Yeah, oh god. Oh no.
Yeah,
but ultimately
so
it's still
good for Osmane a moment ago, but now it's looking pretty even again off the back of that big cav switch from Germany there. Although 2 falconets coming. I mean, there's not a lot of skirmishers from Germany here, but that's still one of the big differentiators in this matchup that Osmane can try to leverage to sort of regain that advantage that he just lost. So we'll see if he can use that effectively here.
Yeah. But this fight very much in the north of the map now, which is where both players are sort of gathering gold from. So both armies going to be present up here. Falconet's now pushing forward. And I think it looks like King of Osmane... He's finished that mine. He's just chomping through them. just destroying the mines. Meanwhile, a bit of a raid in the lower half of the map.
On the northern side of the map here, they are actually tin mines, so they have 500 less gold than normal, so that's part of the reason he's maybe chewing through them so quickly. But yeah, the Falconet's gonna be doing some raiding of their own.
Falc raids are best kind of raid.
I remember back when A's used to play a lot more Portuguese, you used to see organ raids every single game.
I imagine organ guns are much better at raiding than
they're actually, they do kill Vills pretty quickly.
Yeah,
compared to Falconets. But
well, Falcs have to waste a whole extra shot on like a 2 HP Vil, whereas organ guns don't. So that would explain a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But Jerrimuno being very diligent about sending Ulans down to these couple gold mines in the front part of Osmane's base, just making sure that he's not gathering comfortably on that. Gonna check that top mine now as well, just because he knows that Osmane's military has to be defending this larger mine on the top side of the map. So gonna get a couple Vils off that again.
Oh dear, lots of food there. And Jerrimuno gonna get out of there. The turkeys are not worth it.
Yeah, and this, I mean, Jerrimuno, I don't know if he'll choose to fight for this. He can still sort of move to all these hunts and mines that are in the middle of the map. Especially since he knows that Osmane has no presence there, because he's been raiding there all the time.
Some nice trades here.
I don't think he wants to let Osmane have that hunt free either, so...
But Falconets, here we go, big volley. No. Jerrimuno, nice trade coming out. Oh, wow, and yeah, he's on top of the CDBs with the Cav, which are exceptional against them. They have no melee resist. Big volley on the skirms, though. But he's got a ton of extra skirms. Goons coming forward, going to attack the Uhlans. But not before a ton of villagers goes down, and Jerrimuno comfortably takes the lead, whilst... there is a counter raid, but 5 Cuirassiers dealing with that. Not up in the fight. I guess they've just been trained or on their way. They do clean that up pretty quick, though. But Germany takes the lead in economy.
Yeah, and just look at where all the hunts are on the map now. They're all sort of in the middle of the map here, where Jerrimuno's, like, far away from Jerrimuno's army, or else on the top side of the map here. And so sorry, not Jerrimuno's army, I meant Osmane's army. And so things are going to get a little bit tricky for Osmane from this point forward. He's still got a slight advantage in terms of military, but getting access to these resources safely is still going to be tricky for him with Germany sort of already positioned here.
Black Riders coming in.
Now coming in. That's going to give him a pretty big advantage in this coming fight with the Cuirassier switch coming out for Osmane is not going to be nearly as effective as he'd like it to be with those Black Riders out now. And it's also going to make it a lot easier for him to maybe pick off the Falconets or something.
Yeah. But they are still alive. War wagons coming in. This is how he's going to handle them. He's going to pay for it, though. All the skirms and goons are able to attack the war wagons, but he does trade it off for 1 kill. He's going to go for the second one as well, but the war wagon's bleeding out here. I guess it's okay because he's got dragoons in the back. One final volley on the skirmishes there. The falconet does go down, but trading off so many war wagons for that.
Yeah, but it looks like it might... No, not going to pay off. It's going to be both players sort of backing out with their dragoons. The few remaining skirmishers going to fire shots at each other, but the military is going to be pretty dead even after that. So overall, just a very even trade. Very
even game as well. The dragoons now going to force the villies away. Not too good at killing villies, these dragoons, although they do have Cov combat. Yes, that's what they have. But the Black Riders and a war wagon are going to be here. But Black Rider's not particularly good in the Dragoon War. They don't have any range resist compared to an ordinary Dragoon. But it is going to be enough to force away the Dragoons there.
You have a lot of damage, though.
That is true. That is true. This is such an even game at the moment. It could come down to this hunt, though. This is the last hunt.
Or even just these gold mines in the middle starting to run a little bit thin for Germany here. Still quite a bit of gold left for France if he can get control of this mine, which it looks like he sort of already has. Yes, the game is sort of just balanced on a knife's edge right now.
It's so... I wonder...
This could be like one of those rare games where both players are just gathering right next to each other, and eventually they just both run out of resources at the same time and just right-click their armies and vills. right into each other's armies at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because, like, at that point, like, what else do you do?
Yeah, because Vils suck at that point. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it might be an even rarer game where after that fight and you've got a couple of Vils left each and you start building mills and plantations.
Yeah, I remember a really long time ago.
Versus
back on
Azem.
Saturday Smackdown.
Yeah.
Where we killed off all of our Vils, and then we had no army left, and there was no resources left on the map, and we basically like restarted the game
Yeah.
with 10 Vils each on mills.
I was going to say like 13 Vils each. Yeah, it was a complete reset at like the 30-minute mark. It was,
Could be.
but you didn't
be a repeat
realize
of that
that
game.
you didn't realize it was so even, and you resigned, I think, or maybe A's resigned. I don't remember.
No,
But that was
no,
a game.
I resigned. Yeah, I regret resigning that game. But anyway, Germany actually has a pretty decent mass here, although a big batch of cures coming out behind this. There's a lot of anti-cav, though, being focused down by the goons and the skirms.
And you're right,
Even
chucking the
CDBs
Vils
sort of
in.
shooting at them.
Yeah, and the settler wagons just getting
Yeah, there
involved
we
as
go.
well.
All the Vils just right-clicking each other's armies.
Yeah, just to tank, because there's like Vils are so useless now. There's no food or gold really left on the map. You just have to throw them in there.
The CDB are actually so good here.
Yeah, with blunderbuss and greatcoats and their 40% range resist. This is the French bonus coming in strong. And it looks like, though, there are so many German units left. No, but there's skirms in the back there, too. So it's very even. But,
Yeah, it's so close to call who's winning right now. Look, Jerrimuno even bringing in his
more
other Vils
Vils.
from that gold
You've
mine
been
at this point.
drafted in. But Germany coming out ahead in this fight.
Yeah, and he's got Ulans in queue behind this, probably at that forward stable. And if those pop out, that could really swing this heavily in his favor. There's cures in queue for Osmane, but they're going to take a long time to get into the fight. And I think that Jerrimuno might barely clinch victory in this game. It's going to be really close.
So these units are so strong. Ulans at this point, they tear through
But
CDB.
there's nothing to counter the cures, and Ulans are really not great against cures. It's so close. Three
Hussar coming in. They've ran out of unit shipments, and they need more unit shipments. Oh wow, 3 Hussars. Could it be enough? Yeah, I think. Just villagers shooting each other everywhere. 5 Doppelsudden coming in. That's what you need against cavalry. That's what's going to be answering the Cuirassier batches.
Right, but CDB is sort of counter at this point. It looks like Osmane taking an advantage here. The Vils going to be forced away from this final gold mine and this final hunt.
Yeah,
with
but
the
here come the
last bit of
Dops.
resources on the map. The Dops are here. Is it enough though? I don't.
Can he
think
get
it's
those
gonna
low
be
HP?
enough.
Yes, he can get the settler wagon out of here. It'll be safe, but it might be killed by a Vil. The Dops hit, yeah, but the CDBs are kind of good against Dops. They've got, what, 11 attack against them? And the Dops, as long as the Cav don't get involved, yeah, look, they're just focusing them down. CDB's so strong at this point. This is how the French-German mirror should be played. Wowee.
Yeah, I think this might be the closest French-German game I've ever seen. Looks like France, though, just barely gonna come out on top. Like the CDB being such exceptional fighters really paying off for him in this game.
Yeah.
And Jerrimuno's like, what the hell is this game?
Yeah, like Germany had
He's like, I
such
have no
a...
resources left.
He's such a huge lead in villages, but the CDBs just fight better. And look at these...
Look at the
they're
score.
so low
still,
HP.
Still dead even in score.
Yeah.
Economies are not really that far apart, although Osmane has access to natural resources.
And we're about to lose
Jerrimuno
3
doesn't.
settler
And
wagons.
He's about to lose. Yeah, he's about
and
to
a
lose a
Vil.
lot of bills here, and doesn't really have any. Well, he has 10 Ulans maybe about to pop. He's selling all of his food and wood to try and get these Ulans out because at this point,
Big catch!
stockpiling those resources.
Yes! And the Dragoon gets caught as well. That's really good.
There's 5 more Dragoons out for Osmane, and I
Oh,
think
no.
that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. There's not going to be an answer to these Dragoons, and
Yeah.
I don't think that Jerrimuno has the resources left to really train any additional units behind this.
And there's
He's going
more.
to try and catch the goons with the Ulans. It's kind of his last chance, but the CDB going to come in here, prevent that possibility from even happening. And I think Osmane is going to take a quick, well, not quick.
Not a
but he's
quick.
gonna take
More
the
Vils
lead
coming in.
series.
Yeah, does he he's going to lose his Ulans, though, but that's the best way to use them, I think, when they're going to go down, is just, you got a few extra hits, deleting the Vils there, and that will be GG. Jerrimuno has resigned. What an intense... Holy moly. I thought for a moment that the game would continue, and we would see mills and plantations coming out, but... and look, this is the last mine with 12 coin in it, and then there'd be no more gold, and... we'd be switching to crossbows and pikes whilst they set up their whilst they set up their plantations and mills. Holy goodness.
I mean, yeah, that's a really rare game right there. You don't see that very often with the vills forced to fight each other like that.
Hot damn.
And yeah, these players also just proving to be really evenly matched. Like, both these games have been just absolutely balanced on a knife's edge the entire time.
Yeah. Wow. I don't have words. Yeah, I want to see the Vil graph. That's what I want to see. Villager population. Yeah, and you can see, like, when Germany chucks their Vils into the fight, right? Their Vils just don't fight the same way CDBs do. Big losses for both players, but just not as good, those ordinary villagers. But that is the end of game number 2. A very, very even game